Ron Burgundy alongside Scott Haney here.
This just in. The other candidates have been making false accusations about our organelle. The majority of these bogus allegations state that many diseases are caused by dysfunction of the ribosome and protein synthesis. An example of these diseases is Alzheimer's. This disease is caused by an insufficient amount of neurotransmitters, protein receptors in the brain that allow cerebral cells to communicate. 4 of the 5 candidates, excluding the Mitochondria political party, say this malfunction is caused by a decreased rate in protein synthesis, which directly correlates to a defect in the ribosome structure. This problem is not a direct fault of the ribosome itself. The American Society for Biochemistry and Molecular Biology states that oxidation in ribosomal RNA caused by bound iron is the source of this dysfunction. The oxidation damages and disorganizes the ribosome's genetic code. Thus, Alzheimer's disease is caused by not by the ribosome itself, but damage caused by iron molecules that have bound to this organelle. The other groups also state that ribosomes are the cause of cancer and Diamond-Blackfan anemia. Ribosomes are not accountable for Diamond-Blackfan anemia. This genetic disorder is caused by mutations that affect the stability and function of ribosomal proteins. Where do these ribosomal proteins derive from? Where are they made? The answer to this true source of Diamond-Blackfan anemia lies in the nucleolus. This organelle is the source of all ribosomes. It determines how they are built through genetic information. A slight abnormality in the process of the nucleolus renders the ribosomes useless. It is not the ribosome's fault that it was made incorrectly. If you were born with a genetic disorder, it definitely wouldn't be your fault. Lastly, our competitors say we cause cancer. Again, we need to look at the creator of the ribosome, the nucleolus. Malfunctions in the ribosome in regards to cancer are caused by RNA from the nucleolus. How can a computer execute the correct commands without the correct code? A ribosome cannot function correctly without plausible mRNA.
Now let's start with our rebuttal arguments. The endomembrane system calls us dropout older brothers. They explain that we latch onto the rough yard and don't do any hard work. The truth is, the endomembrane system needs ribosomes to function properly. Without us, what proteins would they transport? How could proteins be secreted? How could membranes be made? There is no rougher yard without ribosomes. They are a dysfunctional family that needs us to hold them down together. Additionally, they also say that we cause Alzheimer's disease. Our studies show otherwise. Their oxidation in ribosomes can lead to an early onset of this disease. It is said that damage and stress to the yard is a major cause of this disease.
The nucleus insists that we cause Blackfan anemia and cancer because we are unable to manufacture proteins correctly. Where does the ribosome get its instruction? The nucleus transcribes DNA onto the mRNA that is sent out to the ribosome. With the wrong genetic code, how could we make the correct proteins? A teacher cannot scold a student whom they taught incorrectly. A teacher also should not be blamed their students. It is a known fact that mutated genes in the nucleus can cause rapid cell proliferation, leading up to cancer.
The cytoskeleton, like the rest of the groups, did not do enough research about the ribosome's role. They are given information from DNA transcribed in the nucleus. They do not make their own instructions, they receive them. You cannot blame the ribosome for being created incorrectly due to a discrepancy or mutation during its creation or receiving of the instructions. The cytoskeleton also says that the ribosomes are cause of Alzheimer's. Our studies show that the destruction or lack of microtubules in a nerve cell can lead to a loss of synapses and a memory, a symptom of Alzheimer's.
The mitochondria says that diseases are caused when the RNA and DNA of ribosomes are being tampered with. Again, this is not the fault of the ribosome itself, but by the nucleolus and nucleus. In their newsletter, they also said that the ribosomes are the cause of Alzheimer's. They themselves are to blame for this disease. When they are damaged and cannot produce enough ATP, nerve cells will begin to weaken and eventually die.
Finally, chloroplasts state that ribosomes are the cause of gastric cancer. Ribosomes should not be blamed for this horrific disease. Our research shows that this disease and other forms of cancer are caused by the overexpression of certain genes that promote rapid proliferation. As stated many times, the ribosome cannot control what the genes are made by. Before you blame us, research deeper. Don't shoot the messenger.
The ribosome is a non-membranous organelle that facilitates protein synthesis. mRNA comes together with tRNA to convert a nucleotide sequence into an amino acid sequence. This long chain of amino acids will then eventually become a functional protein. Our bodies need the proteins produced by ribosomes to function properly. Without them, we would not be able to produce enzymes. Our muscles would not have structure and our brains could not think.